Protestants and Catholics were killing each other, known as the Troubles. I never thought I'd see peace up there in my day, but President Clinton went over and he stood behind the Catholics, along with the Irish Prime Minister, Bertie Ahern, Irish Taoiseach, and he stood with Clinton and supported the Catholics to reassure them it's going to be okay. And is it Senator Clifford? I forget his name. An American senator went over and he negotiated. And Tony Blair came from here over to Belfast to stand behind the Protestants. So basically, the three other powers said to them, it's going to be okay, have negotiations, and they formed a government of a union between the two. I never thought I'd see this in my day, two sides. So you had ex-Catholic gunmen who killed Protestants sitting at a table with ex-Protestant gunmen who killed Catholics, and now one is the Minister of Education, the Minister of Defence. So they actually formed a government because of the help from America, Republic and Britain. And I mention this because there was a man called Martin McGuinness, famous ex-IRA gunman who killed Protestants. He was now in this government. And the Queen went over and did a great thing. She went to Dublin and she laid a wreath to remember the rebels who had been killed during the 1916 rebellion in the Garden of Remembrance, which was really, for a British monarch, that was pretty brave and great thing to do. So, a lot of respect for the Queen in Ireland. And when she went to Belfast, the big question was, would she shake hands with Martin McGuinness, famous IRA gunman? And she's walking down the line, cameras are on them, everybody's waiting both sides, and she turns, and for him too, that was dangerous. For him to shake hands with the Queen of England, he could have been killed by his own people. And these two very brave people, Martin McGuinness, Elizabeth II, shook hands and really helped cement a peace. So a lot of respect for the Queen. So I've just done a very Irish thing. I've gone this way to tell you a story. Right, I usually get lost halfway and not get back. Traffic. The reason I mentioned it was that a lot of respect for the Queen in Ireland, everywhere. And when she died, Indian social media went crazy, saying we want this diamond back. In Kohinoor, the Queen is gone, we want it back, because they felt it was going to be given to Camilla. And it might have been because the crown that was made, that it's in, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's crown, was made for the Queen's mother. A non-royal spouse marrying a royal king, King George VI. Charles and Camilla, a royal king, a non-royal spouse. The perfect crown for Camilla. So in India, you all say, no, we want this back. So I did a bit of digging around that time to see who's right. And it turns out the case for the Kohinoor went up to the courts of India, to the Supreme Court of India, and they found in Britain's favour. They said it wasn't stolen by the British, it was part of a treaty between the two countries. But they're still arguing about it. I'm not getting involved. I was telling my tourists around that time, they won't use it now, they won't use it now. And lo and behold, before the coronation, they said, we're not using that one, we're going to use Queen Mary's with a few extra diamonds thrown in. So those two crowns, the last two on the moving sidewalk, the one that was used and the one that could have been used with the Kohinoor. Okay. I'm going to give you a break for a second so you can recover from all that talk. See King George III again. Those of you on the right hand side, he's just here. Some historians have been asking over the years, if he hadn't been so rigid as a king with the American colonies, would America not have left? Those who think wouldn't have left, say aye. Those who think he would have gone anyway, say aye. Yeah, there you go. It's all good. We're all getting on really well now, happy to say it. Yeah, it's all good. On the left, we're going to get a closer view of the National Gallery. Remember I said earlier, sections of art, admission free, back at Trafalgar Square. Yeah, same way. It looks pretty clear. Sometimes if there's too much traffic over there, you go straight across, what you call it, onto the Strand. Oh no, sorry, Northumberland Avenue onto the river. But let's see how it looks. It seems okay from here, doesn't it? Because it's more direct, you know? So remember I said this was laid out in the 1830s and 40s on top of what was then the Royal Mews, laid out to commemorate Admiral Horatio Nelson's victory over the combined French and Spanish fleets, the Battle of Cape Trafalgar, October 21st, 1805. And that's Nelson over there in the column. Nelson was shot and killed at the point of victory, just before it, and died a few hours later. His last words were, "I thank God I've done my duty." Now the reason you're seeing fountains, now these aren't the original, but it's the original placing. They put the fountains in, back in the 19th century, originally, to limit the amount of space people have to gather. They were always worried over the centuries of people gathering and rebelling, revolting. They didn't have to worry. I've been here since '82. All my English friends complain, no one revolts. French, every 5 minutes the French are out blocking roads, blocking harbours. It's in the blood. So they didn't have to worry. But people gather here when they're happy on New Year's Eve, jumping into the freezing cold water, purely inebriated. And they gather here when they're unhappy, like the miners' strike, Margaret Thatcher's, which you would say in power. She closed all the mines down in Wales and also introduced the poll tax, an extra tax. And there was some famous riots along here. If you look online, you see armed police, batons on horses chasing rioters along here. Basically the way we came, we had to split up to St. Paul's and beyond. Again, to the right around the corner is the very famous Savoy Hotel. In case you didn't see it earlier, sorry, I should have mentioned earlier, you got a picture. talk to you as well. Oh no, I didn't finish the jewels, honestly. I'm just back from Ireland, so I'm steeped in that kind of like story going on over here. Yeah, so when you step off the moving sidewalk, you're going to see